everybody, welcome back to the Light Side Music Reactions. Today we've got a new artist for the channel. This is one I'm familiar with, but haven't really listened to a lot of his music. His name is John Rich, and some of you may remember him as being part of the country music duo Big and Rich. And they were pretty popular back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Some of the songs that you may recognize that they put out, their first big hit was Save a Horse. I think that was their first big breakout hit. They had a bunch of other songs that I don't really recognize. I never really heard any of them. But some of the titles are Holy Water, 8th of November. I think I've heard this one, but I don't remember it specifically. I remember that it was a patriotic type song, but I don't remember anything about it. So I'm going to have to react to that at some point on this channel probably. But there's a bunch of songs on here that they put out, and he ended up going solo and releasing some songs by himself. But anyway, he's got this new song that he just came out with. They just released the music video for it this past week. And the song is called Revelation, and it also features Sonia Isaacs. And I don't know who Sonia Isaacs is. I don't know if she's with the Isaacs family. It's famous for Southern gospel music. But this song is called Revelation, and we're just going to go ahead and check it out now. So here we go. This is John Rich singing Revelation. Okay, him in front of an old-fashioned church. Looks like a one-room building.
The people cursed his name, bowed at the altar of the father of lies. But there's a number to their days and all their evil ways. The Lord's gonna turn away from all their cries. Revelation, I can feel it coming like a dark train running.
All right, I'm liking this. It's got that old, almost little bit of a bluesy sound to it. It's in kind of a minor key, it sounds like. Might even be a drop D tuning. Possibly in E. But you can hear the low notes on the guitar, on the acoustic. Really giving it that deep, kind of dark sound. And that helps in music-wise to denote sort of a dark, kind of foreboding type of mood and atmosphere. And of course, with the message of the song, he's talking about the dark days coming of Revelation. And you know, we've been seeing a couple different videos we reacted to in the last week or so with this same theme. And so this is interesting that this is coming out, and so many artists are talking about this subject. Kind of interesting. Dancing in the flames, the people cursed his name, bowed at the altar of the father of lies. And of course, that's a reference to Satan. There's a number to their days and all their evil ways. The Lord's going to turn away from all their cries. Oh, Revelation, I can feel it coming, like a dark train running. And that might remind you of the, see, it's not Randy Travis, who was the, there's a country singer. Go ahead and tell me his name if you can think of it in the comments. Josh Turner. Like the Josh Turner song, Long Black Train. And I'm sure there are others that have covered it as well. But that's a reference to that same concept of the metaphor of the devil's driving an old black train. And you know, there's a train that leads to glory, and then there's a long black train that leads the other direction. And you want to make sure that when you get your ticket, you're getting the ticket for the right train, going in the right direction. And he says, like a dark train running, oh, get ready, because the king is coming. The king is coming back again. And of course, you know, Revelation talks about the devil's coming, the Antichrist. You know, there's going to be some dark days, and a lot of people are going to be fooled. In fact, the majority of people are going to be fooled. But at the same time, the king is coming back too. You know, the Lord's coming back, and get ready, because when he does, he's going to bring judgment with him. All right, let's get back to the second verse.
Brimstone upon their heads, millstones around their necks. They'll feel shaken when the trumpet sounds. And no matter where they hide, there'll be nowhere to run when Jesus puts his mighty foot on the ground. I can feel it coming like a dark train running. Get ready, 'cause the king is coming. The king is coming back again.
Pretty cool imagery on this video. That is cool. I like that imagery. They're showing a lot of the red and black sort of colors, and the flame sort of thing. And of course, this is to denote the darkness, the dark side, Satan and his forces. And of course, when those days come, it's going to look like Satan is winning. That he's got all these victories behind him. He's going to be winning a lot of battles, but the war is far from over. And when the king finally returns, then you think back to C.S. Lewis books, and also J.R.R. Tolkien. You think of the Lord of the Rings, that sort of thing. Throughout the Lord of the Rings trilogy, in those books, you've got all these dark times as there's Sauron and all the darkness and the demons and all the darkness and the enemies that are coming after him. And when everything seems like it's at the very darkest, that's when Gandalf returns with the king. What was his name? Aragorn, I think, was the king. But anyway, it's when the king returns and sets everything right. And so here, second verse, it talks about brimstone upon their heads, millstones around their necks. And of course, that's a reference to, in the Bible, it talks about fire and brimstone is the recurring theme. Going back in the Old Testament and also the New Testament, of course, in the book of Revelation, where he's referencing here. But it goes all the way back to Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire and brimstone. And, throughout history, brimstone denotes judgment. And so whenever you hear fire and brimstone, that's representing the judgment of God coming back. And a lot of people these days, they see all the stuff happening in our world around us, the turmoil, the despair, the pain, the suffering that people are going through. And it's easy for us to ask, why does God allow all these things to happen? And the Bible tells us that he is slow in his judgment. He's slow to come back and bring justice because of his love for us. And we're all sinners. There is none righteous, no, not one. So even the best of us humans are sinners, and we're lost without him. And so he wants us to be saved, as many of us as possible. And so he is slow on bringing judgment because he is allowing us mercy. And he is giving us the opportunity to accept that forgiveness, to accept that mercy and that grace. And so, but the day is coming. The day is coming, and we need to be ready, because when that day does come, then time will run out. Patience will run out. And he'll no longer be bringing mercy and grace, but he'll be bringing judgment. Because even though he's a God of mercy and love, he's also a God of justice. And he has to balance that in order to be righteous, to be just. And so, in order to take advantage of that, we got to be ready. We got to be on guard. And we got to be watching for the signs of the times. And if you're awake and if you're watching, you'll see all the signs around us as we get closer and closer to those times. And when the days are done, it's going to be too late to change your mind and say, I want to accept your grace and your forgiveness, and I want to be on your side. And so we need to make our choice today. But he's talking here about brimstone upon their heads, millstones around their necks. That's another scripture where Jesus is talking about if you abuse children, if you mislead them, lead them astray, it'd be better for you if a millstone were tied around your neck and you'd be cast into the sea. And basically the way I'd like to describe that, it's a metaphor very similar to a mob hit or a mafia hit. You think about the old story of the people wearing cement shoes. In other words, they dip their feet in concrete and then drop them into a lake. In other words, they're going to drown them. And Jesus said that if you abuse and lead children astray so that they follow the enemy instead of God, then it would be better for you on Judgment Day if you had been the victim of a mafia hit than to face God in his judgment when that time comes. And so millstones around their necks, that's what he's talking about. When this day comes, God is going to bring his judgment to those that are causing all this calamity. And so the message for us today is, for those of us that are asking, why do bad things happen to all these good people? And why do bad things happen in our world around us? Why isn't God doing something to stop it? He is going to, when patience and time runs out. Right now, he's offering us a time of grace, a time to open our eyes and to see the truth before it's too late. But when that time comes, then it will be too late. And he will answer our prayers. He will bring justice, and things will finally be set right. But when that time comes, you better make sure you're ready. Because if you're not, then you're going to be along with those that get the brimstone dropped upon their heads and the millstones tied around their necks and dropped into the sea of flame and fire. It says they'll feel the shaking when the trumpet sounds. And that's a reference to, when the great trumpet sounds, and that's going to herald the return of Christ. When you hear that great trumpet sound, the angel is blowing the trumpet. That's going to be the sound that everybody on the earth hears. And of course, it's probably metaphorical. It's not going to be a literal trumpet. But there's going to be some kind of great noise letting the world know that he's here. It's time. And when we hear that noise, no matter where they hide, there'll be nowhere to run. When Jesus puts his mighty foot on the ground. And then it repeats the chorus. Oh, get ready, because the king is coming. The king is coming back again. I'm liking this. This is a good song. And I really like this imagery, too. It's produced really well. Ooh, cool. Okay, I wish you could see the video on here. When you're done watching this video, go down to the description and click on the link in there. It'll take you to the official music video, and you can watch it in its entirety and see all the imagery that they have in here. It's just really beautiful. He's showing the darkness, the black and the orange and the red colors to denote, Satan in the dark times, and to set the atmosphere and to set the mood for the type of atmosphere that's going on in the world around us during this time he's singing about. But then it shows the angel coming down, and the angel looks really cool. The special effects in here are really awesome for a music video. And he doesn't have the wings at first. It just looks like a man wearing sort of a white robe that's kind of opens in the front sort of thing, and long hair. Kind of how you would imagine an angel in a sci-fi fantasy prophecy type movie sort of thing, like the ones that came out like in the 90s sort of thing. And then he's got the sword, and the sword bursts into flames. Really cool imagery. And then his wings sprout from his back. Very cool video. And then it shows the angel taking his sword in hand, and he's fighting off these demons, and it's just really awesome imagery here. But he talks about when judgment comes like a lightning flash, their voice will wail and their teeth will gnash. And of course, this is reference to the Bible as well. It says in the day, in Matthew 24, Jesus predicts that in the end times, as the days of Noah was, so will the day of his return be. And in those times, there were people were eating and drinking and being merry. They were partying as if there was no tomorrow. As Prince would sing, "Party like it's 1999." And that's how people will be. They'll be partying like it's the end of the world, and they want to go out having a good time. They'll be eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day, as in the days of Noah, that Noah went into the ark. And they didn't know about the flood until it came and took them all away. And it'll be the same in those end times, that there will be so many people that are blinded by the world and its deception that they won't know what's happening until it's already over with and it's done. And so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And then in Matthew 13, he talks about the parable of the weeds and the tares, and how right now we're having the tares. Basically, we've got a field of grain, which represents all the people of the world. And in the grain and in the wheat, there are weeds all throughout it that the enemy has sown. And people, like I said today, are asking, why does God allow the weeds to continue to grow there? The bad influences, the dangerous, the deadly element, the enemy. Why does he allow the enemy to continue to stay and influence us? And the reason is he's letting them grow together until the time when he comes back with his scythe and he tears down the weeds and saves the wheat, and the chaff, the weeds are thrown onto the fire to be burned. And he'll send out his angels, and they'll weed out his kingdom and everything that causes sin and who does evil, and he'll throw them into a blazing furnace where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And that's what he's singing about here in these lyrics, is there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. He'll set fire to their evil once and all the wickedness they've done. There'll be no time to turn around as the stars begin to hit the ground. And the mountains fall and the veil is torn with the sounding of that seventh horn. I like that imagery too. He's talking about the stars begin to hit the ground, the mountains fall, and the veil is torn. The veil reference is really cool because when Jesus was crucified, when he said it is finished, the Bible tells us that at that very moment, the veil of the temple was torn in half. And that symbolized that no longer did man need to go to a priest to confess, but he could just go straight to Jesus. And, Jesus was now the mediator between God and man in heaven. And so, as it talks about here, the veil is torn. It means we'll be once again reunited with Jesus. It'll be us and him, nobody in between us. We won't have to pray to him because he'll be right there. We'll be with him face to face. And we can talk to him as if he's standing right next to us. And it says, and then the stars begin to hit the ground and the mountains fall. And I think of the old song, "Stand By Me." The great, beautiful song from the 60s, Ben E. King. And it says, I won't be afraid, though the mountains fall into the sea and all this turmoil and tribulation happening all around me. I won't be afraid just as long as you stand by me. And for the Christian, that's a wonderful thing to know, that in those times when the rest of the world is running and screaming and in terror, that we won't have to be afraid because God himself will be standing right next to us with the sounding of that seventh horn. Okay, let's listen to the final part of the song here. It's the final battle there in the video. Really cool. In front of the church. Nice, and it shows them clashing one last time. That is so cool. Revelation chapter 12, 10, and 11. And it has the verse there. Very cool. Definitely go check out that video and give John Rich some support on his channel. This is the kind of music I like. It's country, but it's not. It's kind of a modern sort of thing. This isn't the old traditional country. This is the kind of, it's not even country sounding. This is kind of a, I don't know how you'd classify it. It's not really rock. It's not really country. It's something in the middle. And I love the message of the song. I love the way it's produced. The video is produced very well. I haven't heard anything from John Rich in years, and so I'm glad to have this opportunity to react to it. Anyway, what do you guys think? Go ahead and check it out, and then comment down below what you think of this. And of course, give me some recommendations on music that you'd like to hear me react to. Be specific, name the artist and the song title, and I will give you a shout out when I react to the video that you recommend. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you had a great time. We'll see you next time on the Light Side Music Reactions. Bye, everybody.